Good evening and welcome to our post-secondary pathway information evening. I'd want to thank you for your patience as we are walking and leading into these new endeavors of streaming our presentation online. And so with that, before we begin, we'll begin with our prayer. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord Almighty God, source of light, truth, and eternal goodness, transform this present moment into a time of vision and inspiration. Help us to find wisdom. Shed light on our thoughts as we help the people we love to make important decisions as they take their first steps towards adulthood. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And now we'd like to begin with our land acknowledgement. We are gathered on the ancestral lands and waters of all Indigenous peoples who have left their footprints on Mother Earth before us. We respectfully acknowledge those who have walked on it, those who walk on it now, and future generations who have yet to walk upon it. We pray to the Creator for strength and wisdom, that all may continue to serve as stewards of the earth. And with that, we are so pleased and honored to have you along tonight and to tune in to our special evening. I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of Ms. King, Ms. Morecki, and Ms. Duggan for their incredible efforts, not only to put together this presentation, but work through all the technical hoops and hurdles and barriers in order to live stream this broadcast. So if it's in this infinite love of Jesus, born out through the Sacred Heart, and through faith, hope, and love, that we bring this presentation to you, not just for pathways, but for care and concern and love for the other. And with that, I'll pass it back to Ms. King.
Oh. Hello. Feedback. Hello, can you hear me through this one? Okay. So everyone who's close to me has to move. Sorry guys about the feedback. Okay, so new endeavors. So thanks for being patient, everyone. So 12th grade, now what? So this year we would like you to make school a priority. Make sure you do your research, visit open houses and fairs. And if you're in grade 11, you should be starting that now. And if you're a grade 9 or 10 who's joining us tonight, it's really important that you can start this journey as well. Talk to the people in your life about their experiences. And remember, you need to complete 20, or you need to complete 40 hours of community service, but this year that's been changed for this year's grade 12. So this year, grade 12s, you need to complete 20 hours of community service. This year you should be working on your learning skills, the things on your report card that are often overlooked, but aim for G's and E's because it's the study skills, your responsibility, your organization, independent work, self-regulation initiative that's actually going to be making the difference for your success in your next steps after high school at Sacred Heart. So one thing, if you're stuck and you're overwhelmed and you have to make all these big decisions, I just want to take a second and remind you of my blueprint. So you have access to my blueprint. We used it in career studies with you. But it's not a bad idea to go back into it now a couple of years later and redo some of those personality tests and learn about yourself as a learner and your interests, and see what post-secondary matches are out there. And you can even research programs on my blueprint, and you can filter it by education level. So that filter where that little red arrow is will show university pathways, college pathways, apprenticeship pathways, and just right into the workplace. You can also filter by career cluster. So really good reminder. Don't forget to log into my blueprint and just see if your personality and your interests are aligned with what you're planning on applying for after high school. A shameless plug for our website. We've updated it often. The information is current. So we have lots of useful links on here, linking to other useful websites, course selection information, obviously for you guys when you're looking for that, course change form, and how to book a guidance appointment. So that's the thing that is new for this year. If you'd like to talk to any of us guidance counselors about anything you see tonight, please fill out that guidance appointment and we will get back to you by scheduling you an appointment through Google Calendar, so watch for the emails. We also have volunteer hours, unique opportunities, so there's some really cool things out there that we post on there, as well as links to summer school, night school, and some starting points for some of the stuff we're talking tonight: apprenticeship, college, university, scholarships, financial aid. Like all this stuff is on the website, so please check it out. You can also find ways to volunteer virtually if you need to top up those 20 hours for grade 12s. And there's some really cool virtual opportunities out there, and some opportunities to do things for like transcribing letters from the Royal BC Military Museum. There's also some translation documents. There's just so much stuff out there. So if you are hesitant to get out into the community, you can safely complete your community service hours at home. Just another plug, most of you are involved in our Google Classroom. This is where we're posting updates about scholarships, awards, pathways, open houses, unique opportunities, leadership opportunities, night school registration. It's all in the classroom. So parents, might be good if you get your child to show you this. And if you want to view it in a less confusing way, click the classwork tab because it's organized under headings, which will be very helpful. We also made this brochure that has all the important dates as well as hyperlinks in it for all the things you may require. And that is posted in this Google Classroom and was emailed out to the students earlier. So the first thing I always tell everyone is to have a dream, and aim for your dream. You'll get there, but also have a backup plan. So I ask students to think of their dream school and program. The second choice will be a school program that you're most likely to get into and you'll be happy going to. And the third choice is a school or program that you will be accepted into and be happy attending. And remember, there's lots of different ways to get to goals. It doesn't always have to be direct from high school. So I always think of it like New York City. If I'm in, Washington Square and I want to get up to Central Park, I can get there a bunch of ways. I can walk, I can take a bus, I can take one of the subway trains up. And along the way, I might find something else that's really cool. I might be walking and I might find Central or Times Square and never make it to Central Park, but that doesn't mean that the beginning of my journey wasn't worth it. So you guys, you'll get everywhere and you're going to have lots and lots of little side steps along the way. Enjoy the process. We ask you to have a system to organize your information. So first thing, make email folders for every school and make a table as you go through your research, copying, pasting the important information so that you have an easier time when you make your decision. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Duggan to speak about college.
Hi, everybody. Hi, students. Hi, parents. Welcome to our little session tonight. So I'm going to talk about applying to college. Okay. First thing is that Ontario colleges use M-level, C-level, and U-level credits. And in some cases, they're going to look at these for early admission. Final offers are always going to be based on an average of your top 2 to 6. One of them, of course, has to be grade 12 English. So you have to have ENG4C or ENG4U. And generally averages have to be 60% or higher. In case you don't know, colleges are also offering bachelor degrees, which is same requirements as if you were applying for a university degree. So you have to have 6 grade 12 U or M courses, and they have to include grade 12 U English. All right, so just a reminder that it's your responsibility to make sure you have the courses that are required to get into your program. We're going to talk about how to do research in a minute, but when you're applying to Ontario colleges, you go to ontariocolleges.ca, this website, and the cost for applying is $95. For that price, you get 5 choices. No more than 3 can be at any one school. College students, you do not need a PIN. You do not need anything to apply to Ontario colleges except to put in your information and create a profile, and then you need a credit card to pay for your fee, which is, as I mentioned, $95. All right, so there are 2 ways that you can research college programs, and you should be actively doing that right now. The first way that you can do your research is by college. So you can, for example, if you know that you don't want to go away to school and it's going to be Seneca College for sure, or Centennial College because they're close by, you can click on that college and it will tell you all of the programs that are offered at Seneca or all the programs that are at Centennial. The other way that you can research is by category, and this is the one that I prefer. So you kind of look at which cluster of careers or programs really appeal to you. So are you interested in culinary programs? Is it more business? Are you going into the trades? Or do you like things to do with horticulture? And so you click on this and then it'll give you even more specific programs. And so this is the way that I find most students like to do their research, is by program. Once you choose a particular program, then you're going to do some research about a particular school and what's required to get into that program. So this example is veterinary technician program, and we're looking at the very first listing for vet tech, and that would be at Algonquin College. Algonquin College is in Ottawa, so if you were interested in going there, you would click on the little website link, and it would take you to Algonquin College's page. And now you're going to be able to find out all the information about the vet tech program at Algonquin. You're going to be able to find out what's required to get in, what the courses are going to be. So one of the most important things is knowing what the program requires. So to be eligible for the vet tech program at Algonquin College, you would need grade 12 college English, grade 12 college math, a senior level biology, and a senior level chemistry, with all of those courses being at least 65%. Then there's other information, like in this particular program, you also have to write their health test exam. But program eligibility is always going to give you information about what you need to be eligible for admission to this program. Also really important to look at is the courses. You know, you're signing up to go to a college for 2 years, 3 years, potentially 4 years. And so you want to make sure that the courses you're going to be taking are things that you're going to enjoy. Ontario colleges do a great job of listing for you very clearly what you're going to take in first year, what you're going to take in second year. So here's a list of what I would be taking if I was going to Algonquin to take the vet tech program. And so I can look at it and decide, does this sound like something I'm going to enjoy? So generally, if we look sort of broadly at college programs, if you want to go into a science-related diploma or advanced diploma, you're going to need grade 12 college English, and you're going to need senior sciences and math, usually biology, chemistry, and then grade 12 college math. If you're going into business programs, usually you're going to need the grade 12 college or U English and a grade 12 math. Most other college diplomas strictly require grade 12 college English, and then 2 or 3 other courses at the college M or U level. Please note that, again, if you decide to do a degree at an Ontario college, it is going to have the exact same requirements as if you were going to a university. So that would be 6 courses at the U or M level. Okay, so here's the basic timeline for applying to any college in Ontario. Right now, sort of September, October, there is the time where you're going to be sort of doing research. So you should be spending time, like we've just shown you, looking up colleges that are of interest to you, that have programs that appeal to you. There's a virtual open house for college. There's a virtual college fair happening on November 4th and 5th. Normally that would be downtown, but this year it's going to be virtual, but all the colleges will be there and you can visit different colleges and find out information about their programs. Now in early October, the applications have gone live, so you can actually apply tonight if you want. All you have to do is create an account going to ontariocolleges.ca. I put a link there too. There's a lovely video on the Ontario Colleges website that walks you through step by step how to create your profile, how to put in your 5 choices, and how to check back to see when you get offers of admission. February 1st is a really important day for those of you applying to colleges. That's the last day that you can apply for equal consideration. What that means is that if you want to get into a competitive program, you have to apply by February 1st because colleges will start sending out their offers shortly after that deadline. And so you may not get a spot in a program if it's competitive. People still do apply after February 1st, and there are still programs that have space, even into June. But if you want competitive programs, they're going to fill up quickly after the February 1st deadline. So we really recommend that you apply early to give yourself a fair chance at some of the more competitive programs. Another important day is May 1st, and that's going to be the last day that you can accept an offer from one of the colleges. So you may get 5 offers, but by May 1st, you have to decide which of them you're going to accept. And then, of course, in June, you need to put a deposit for your tuition and start, making plans in terms of if you're going to, need to live in residence or whether you're going to live at home and commute. But all of those things have to be decided by June. One thing I just wanted to mention is that there are other ways that people can go back and forth between college and university. And one of them that I really love is the collaborative programs between the colleges and universities. You can find this under applying types of programs on the Ontario Colleges website. But collaborative programs basically allow you to do 2 years to get a diploma and then 2 more years to get a degree. The most common collaboration that exists between colleges and universities is for nursing. So students may do, for example, 2 years of practical nursing at Seneca College or at George Brown College, and then they transfer to York University and do 2 more years to get their Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So then they would have their registered nursing designation as well. If you were going to George Brown, you would do your second 2 years at Ryerson. So you would have both a practical nursing diploma and you would have a registered nursing degree. So you would have both. There are other collaborations, but nursing is one that a lot of people know about. So collaborative diploma and degree programs are amazing. And you can find information about them both on ontariocolleges.ca, but also on OUAC info. Another thing to just mention is this great website called ontransfer.ca. And this is basically a method of finding out about doing a diploma after you would do a degree or doing a degree after you do a diploma. So unlike 20 or 30 years ago, now post-secondary institutions are very good about taking students back and forth between the 2 types of institutions. So many students will do 2 years at a college and get a diploma, and then they'll transfer to a university, and the university will give them credit for the 2 years that they did at the college and take some of the time off that's required for doing the degree. Similarly, many students who do a general degree go back to college and do a diploma afterwards. My niece, for example, did a degree in fine art and then went back to college afterwards and did a diploma in graphic design. And now she works for an advertising company in graphic design. So a lot of students go back and forth doing a diploma or a degree after their first one. Couple good examples of this 2+2 kind of transfer program. Seneca has a really great one that students who live in Newmarket are really lucky to take advantage of. It's a 2-year arts and science general diploma that basically gives you automatic admission as long as you maintain a B average into York University when you're finished. I think as long as you're, and it's very general. So you do sort of general courses in history, in English, and psychology, and then you transfer into York and you finish your last 2 years and get a Bachelor of Arts. Similarly, Lakehead University and Georgian have an agreement now where you can do 2 years at Georgian and then 2 years at Lakehead. And this time you get a Bachelor of Science in Applied Life Sciences and a biotechnology diploma from Georgian College. All right, next up is Ms. King. She's going to talk to you about applying to university.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to be talking about applying to university. So university pathway admission requirements for direct entry from high school, if you wish to go directly, are 6 grade 12 U or M level courses. So grade 11 U and M level courses are considered for early admission purposes and conditional offers only. So although some final offers, especially this year during COVID, might be using your grade 11 marks, generally speaking, you're looking at your best 6 grade 12 U or M level marks, one of which must be ENG for you. Averages depend on the program. Generally, to go to university, you're looking at about 70%. Most are well above that, just depending on what you're looking at. University applications, unlike the college, does require a personal identification number or a PIN to create an account, and your unique PIN is going to be mailed directly to your houses in traditional snail mail. So it's really important you watch for that PIN in the next couple of days, because you need to have it in order to log into the OUAC website. It's your responsibility to check your program requirements and make sure that you have the prerequisite courses to get into each program, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. The application fee for university is $150, and that gets you 3 programs. If you wish to apply to more, you are able to, and it is a cost of $50 for every additional program you wish to apply to. Like the Ontario Colleges website, there are some amazing, very useful video tutorials that I've put a hyperlink to in this doc, and the slides are included in under the video on our website, but also on this YouTube channel as well. I put the link to the slide deck in there, and all these links are clickable and usable for you. So in order to find out what programs are at university, the easiest way is to click the Programs tab and then click Find a Program on the right-hand side of your screen. There is a little filter you can get by clicking Showing Advanced Search Options that will let you, very much like the college website, search by university. So if you want to look at staying home and commuting and looking at places like York or Ryerson, you can search the programs that way. You can also browse by category. So if you look on the other side of the screen, you can see agriculture, food, forestry, resource management, vet sciences. There's 37 programs, and you could click that and you would get a list of all those programs. So we encourage you to search through the site in a variety of ways. Once you do find a program, so I'm just walking you through Queen's Commerce. These are tabs across the top. So you click the program and you end up on this screen, and there's an overview. So this is like a snapshot of what it tells you what you need to get in. So the grade range to get into Queen's Commerce is 87% plus or higher. They take about 500 students, the enrollment says. While we're here, I just want to draw your attention to the 2 little buttons at the bottom. One says University website. That would take you to Queen's University website. Maybe not so useful as you're researching, but the program website is what would be very useful for you. So click the program website and see what's there. So oftentimes there's a video, there's a blurb about the program. There's stuff that tell you where the graduates get placed. And the most specific thing I want to draw your attention to in there is you can usually find a link to the course calendar for that program. So course calendars are very useful to help you make your decision, because it's not just a matter of getting into the program, it's a matter of being willing and wanting and enjoying the courses that are part of that program. So please take a look at how the credits work there, and as well what you need to take to earn that degree. So admission averages are calculated by an aggregate, right? And I want to explain to you what that means, because it's a little bit different than the way you maybe think averages are calculated. So traditionally, when you calculate averages, a mean average, you are adding up your best 6 marks and then dividing by 6. And that does get you an average, but what you actually want to do is look at the aggregate. So a 65% average, all your marks, your 6 best marks must add up to 390. A 71% average is 426. An 80% average, your 6 best marks must add up to 480. Now, knowing how to do it this way is very useful, because it will help you once as you have your marks complete, your final marks, you can actually tabulate this and figure out what you need to get in your courses later on in the year. So it's really empowering. And if you're confused about this, set up a guidance appointment where we'll be more than happy to walk you through and help you figure it out. So back to this Queen's Commerce example. The next tab over is requirements. So this is going to tell you the required courses that you must take in high school. So for this example, Queen's Commerce, you need to take ENG4U with a minimum mark of 80%. You have to take MCV4U, that's calculus and vectors, with a minimum mark of 80%. One other 4U course in math, so that could be data or advanced functions with a minimum mark of 80, and 3 additional U or M level courses in grade 12. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is the fact that some programs at some universities are considered grades plus. So what that means is grades plus an interview, maybe grades plus a portfolio, grades plus an audition. And in this case, it's grades plus a personal statement of experience, supplementary essay. So Queen's Commerce, you must do a personal statement essay. So that's that. And pay attention to the deadlines because they very much matter. And schools will be communicating to you by email. So please have a system to monitor your email, have a system to track your email, have a system to keep track of deadlines and due dates, because the schools will just not accept you if you don't meet that criteria. So broadly speaking, university admission requirements, arts programs, so Bachelor of Arts, which is things like history, English, classical studies, sociology, psychology is in here. If it's a Bachelor of Arts, require generally ENG4U plus 5 other grade 12 U or M level courses. Science-based programs, so something that's a Bachelor of Science, so something like chemistry, physics, health sciences, require ENG4U and 2 of the 3 grade 12 university level sciences and 1 or 2 of the grade 12 U or M maths. And business programs, so something like a Bachelor of Business Administration or a Bachelor of Commerce, in things like accounting, business, organizational studies, require ENG4U plus 1 or 2 grade 12 maths, plus 3 other grade 12 U or M credits. And the more competitive the program, the more likely it's going to need calculus and vectors. So I would make sure if you're a grade 11 out there that you, and you would like to go into a competitive science or business program, that you take in grade 11 the university level math. So university timeline right now, again, you should be doing research. There's a link there to a page of university open houses and webinars. Your PIN numbers are being mailed any day now. They'll be in your mailboxes, and you will need to log in. And I just always tell people to take a photo of it and put it somewhere safe, because that number is needed and it's your unique PIN, and it's very difficult if you lose it to log in. January 15th is the deadline to apply. That's the equal consideration date. So anyone who applies before that date is equally considered for all the programs. Please do not apply on the 15th because the system sometimes gets overloaded and crashes and gets really finicky, and then students panic because it's the date of the deadline and they're not able to submit their applications. A really great time to do this is over the winter break. So when you go home, maybe those first couple days before Christmas, log in, submit your applications, and then just wait for the emails, the next emails telling you what to do. February through May is when they do, if you're doing like an ESL student, you have to do some ESL language testing, or if there's an interview or a portfolio, audition, an essay, that sort of stuff will happen in that window. So please check your email for instructions and make sure you meet the deadline set by the university. So February 4th is the last day to make changes to your program, and mid-February to May 27th, offers of admission are sent out. So this is early offers of admission will come in February. You don't apply for an early offer of admission. Early offers of admission are offered to you if the university likes your grade 11 and your grade 12 marks so far. So you don't have to check a box. It doesn't make a difference if you apply earlier than later, as long as you apply before the deadline. And just a reminder that all offers are conditional. So once you have a spot, you still need to meet the conditions of that offer. So if it was like that 80% in that math class, like in the Queen's Commerce, you must meet that. Also check in this time from February onwards for scholarships, bursaries, awards, apply for OSAP, Your residence applications and deposits will come out at this time, and all those dates vary by school. So it's really important that you check your email and have a system to file those emails to be able to go back to earlier. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Barecki for a full disclosure.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased to be joining Ms. King and Ms. Duggan this evening to share this important information about your post-secondary pathways and your next steps. I'll begin with a couple of important reminders, the first being full disclosure. That's the date by which all colleges and universities are able to see all of your completed courses to date. This year, the first full disclosure date has come and gone. It's October 23rd for Quad 1. There will be upcoming disclosure dates, and we will share those with you on our Google Classroom as they become available to us. So at the end of each quad, this process will renew itself. Just be sure to keep checking our grade 11 and 12 Google Classroom for these updates. The next reminder I'd like to share with you is for those students who have completed courses with other institutions, online institutions. It's your responsibility, but you can book an appointment with your guidance counselor to help you through the process to make sure you grant access to that outside institution to your UAC account so that they can upload any completed grades. Of course, you do also have to share that information with guidance so that we can update your credit history. Those are two very important things you should be considering if you've completed courses and you'd like to know the transparency behind how marks are shared with post-secondary institutions. I'm going to speak to you a little about our apprenticeship opportunities and pathways for those students who are interested in leaving Sacred Heart and joining a skilled trade or working toward an apprenticeship. One of the first things is knowing exactly what the requirements are. Just as you would with university or college, there are some requirements, and they're important ones, to making sure that you're successful in this pathway. The first is to make sure that you acquire your OSSD. On top of that, many apprenticeships require some sort of math course, very important, senior math, or a chem or a physics. If you need help navigating this, you can always book an appointment with your guidance counselor, but just know what the lay of the land is before you entertain this pathway. Most of the apprenticeship opportunities out there can be accessed by any academic high school type, so college, university, or workplace. After high school, students must find an employer to apprentice with. This, of course, will your time with us at Sacred Heart can help you with that. Typically, employers will accept apprenticeship candidates if they are completing a 4-credit co-op in OYAP at Sacred Heart. This is an excellent opportunity to build relationships with future employers, so keep that in mind. The next thing you should consider is perhaps starting your search at some pretty amazing hubs that help connect employers with apprentices and job seekers in the skilled trade. This website right here, apprenticesearch.com, is a great starting point. It's free of charge. You simply create a profile and you search for trades or jobs in fields of interest. And it's a great way to connect you with the community and the network of employers at large. There is another way to exploring how to help yourselves get into this stream. And one of the ways that many students choose to start their apprenticeship is with a college program. And to do this, you can explore what's available to you at the many fine colleges in Ontario. So for further explorations, for example, on this page that's being broadcast right now, you can just simply click on the professions and trades to find out a list of trades that you can begin a more formal study in college for. For example, what you have on the screen here is a sample page from Durham College. And essentially here, what you have is an overview of the program where you can look for foundational programs to help you in your pathway toward your apprenticeship. So typically what that would look like is you would take an exploratory year. You would do a year in college that helps you with, and if you can read all those, you can see that it would help you in some of laying the groundwork for becoming a skilled tradesman or tradeswoman. If you're currently in grade 11 and are participating in this broadcast tonight, good for you. The earlier you have the information at your disposal, the better. Knowledge is power, of course. So if you are interested in the apprenticeship program, it's never too early to start, and you would have to give some consideration to this pathway in grade 11. So if you are interested, it's best to consider it now. You can always speak to your guidance counselor about perhaps joining a 4-credit co-op in OYAP during your grade 12 year, but you would have to plan for that a little sooner than grade 12 second semester. This will allow you to graduate high school as a level 1 apprentice in your trade. So getting a head up and a head start. Who's next? Is that Angie?
Hi there, I'm back up again. So I just wanted to very quickly talk about a couple of considerations for our students that are in specialty programs at Sacred Heart. The first one is advanced placement students at Sacred Heart. If you elect to write any of the AP exams in grade 12, you can decide what you're going to do in terms of getting credit for them at the particular university you might be attending. And you'll notice that on the information page for every program, there's a link at the bottom for IB admission information and for AP admission information. And so you have to, I tried a few of the links today, and some of them don't really go anywhere. So sometimes you have to dig a little bit to find out. But for example, I looked at Western and they had a nice chart that said as long as you get a level 4 or 5 in an AP exam, then you can elect to take the credit for that course. But you don't have to. At certain universities, like I know at McGill University, if you write AP exams and you score a 4 or 5, you don't have a choice. They automatically put you in second year, so you have to take the credit. Many of our students will write the exams, but they choose not to take the credit. They take the course to be prepared for their first year biology or their first year chemistry, and they don't really want the credit. They just want to be better prepared for their exams, for their courses in first year. However, you should be familiar with whatever university you're going to, their policy on AP courses and what they're going to recognize in terms of the exams that you have written. Okay, the next thing is for students who have a Policy 208 accommodation plan or students that have an IEP because of a special ed designation. In high school, you've been given accommodations. Perhaps you've had extra time on tests, a formula sheet for math, a laptop to help with writing, or whatever it is. These accommodations, of course, can and should continue when you move to post-secondary, but you need to make arrangements for that. They don't automatically know your history. And so one of your first visits when you arrive at college or at university is you visit the Student Accessibility Office or something to that effect. Every school might have a different name for it, but it's usually something along that line, student accessibility. And you must present your official documentation. So whether it's a medical note or for a special ed designation, usually they want a fairly recent psych assessment or a copy of your IEP from high school and perhaps a letter from the school psychologist explaining what your identification is and what accommodations worked for you in high school. But certainly there are departments at every university and college that are really well equipped to help you succeed in university or college, but don't be shy about asking for those accommodations. You really need to seek out that office and make sure that they are aware of your need for accommodation so that you get them right away. You don't wait until you start falling behind to ask for those accommodations. Sorry, there was a website listed there that is a guide that you can refer to get more information about transitioning to post-secondary. The other specialty program that we have here at Sacred Heart is our ESL program. And so it's really worth mentioning that many ESL students are required to write a language proficiency exam before they start college or university. And the policy varies from school to school and even from program to program. And so you really have to make sure that you check admission requirements for your program to see what it is you're going to be required to do. Some students are shocked to find out that even though they've been in Canada for 3 of their 4 years in high school and they are still required to write the TOEFL or some other English proficiency exam. So certainly your guidance counselor or your ESL teachers can give you more information about this, but we thought we best mention to you that you should be checking that requirement. So if English is not your mother tongue and you did not do all of your schooling here in Canada, you may be required to demonstrate your proficiency at the English language as part of the condition of your admission to certain programs at both colleges and universities.
Hello, back to me. For those of you at home who were wondering what I'm doing, I have a mic coming from a different computer than the one that has the screen on it, so I apologize. So financial options, we received a lot of questions about scholarships and where to sort of find databases or opportunities for scholarships. So I just want to quickly share some websites that you can set up accounts on and view a bunch of databases that have scholarships. So the first one is scholarshipscanada.com. And again, on this site, you create an account and it asks you a bunch of questions, and then it will let you know all the grants, bursaries, scholarships, awards that you are eligible for. Conic is another one. It's also free, and this is devoted to helping high school students find information, again, about scholarships, bursaries, grants. And the links for all these websites are hyperlinked into this document. So if you would like to click it and create an account, you can. The other one that just to get you started is scholartree. Again, same thing. You set up an account and it asks you many questions, and then it will let you know what you're eligible for. So please set up accounts there and get started on finding some free money. The other place you can look for scholarships is on Ontario University's info. In the top tab, there is a finance, and you can look and filter, use the filters to filter by school, by dollar range, by grade, by application, or if it's renewable, which means a renewable scholarship, it will renew itself if you continue to meet the criteria that was outlined, and they'll keep giving you money every year as opposed to just a single award. So that's just enough to get you started. We do have another supplementary presentation on scholarships coming up. So the important dates coming up are Canadian College and University Fairs, November 6th to 7th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And again, these are all hyperlinked, so they're great to their websites. And this is going to be useful for you if you want to look at some programs outside of the province. So if you're looking at maybe like a UBC or an SFX or McGill, this would be worth looking at. Then there is the Ontario Virtual College Fair. So that's the Ontario Colleges.ca fair, and usually it's down at the Intercare Centre. And it is now a virtual. They've created a virtual fair. It's timed, so from 4 to 8 or from 9 to 1. And you do want to look at this and register because there are different breakout workshops and webinars, and you should look and see which ones apply most to you and sign up for them. Apprenticeship and skilled trades. We have a presentation on October 30th between 1 and 2, and we have a guest who is going to be telling you about those opportunities. Her name is Liz Enriquez, and she actually is a recruiter for George Brown College. She'll also be doing one on how to apply to college on October 29th from 2:30 to 3:30, and the link there is to join. And one presentation that she is absolutely amazing at, and I really would encourage all of you to do, is the paying for college and university. She has a very amazing, very comprehensive presentation that will change your life. And the last thing is Ontario College University Overview Night with Liz Enriquez and Jennifer Duggan. She's a recruiter for U of T Mississauga, and they do a little bit of back and forth talking about the pros and cons of both university and college, and we've included the link there to join. So thank you very much. Yeah, so we'll get to the questions in just a second. Who's my guidance counselor? So if you've heard something tonight you want to talk more about, please don't hesitate to click the link with the person's name that applies to your last name, and book a guidance appointment and watch for the appointment on your Google Calendar. Thank you. Questions? Yes. Yes.
Our first question from Michael, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your names. What if my English 4U mark is in my last quadrimester? And how will they see my mark? I'm assuming that's university or college.
Okay, I'll answer that. So they will be looking at your grade 11 mark to predict your grade 12 mark. That's the short answer.
So if we've answered your question to your satisfaction in the chat bar, could you just say thank you? That way we know. Otherwise, you can follow up with your guidance counselor. The next question comes from Cole Kim, and he asks, are the requirements mentioned in the February mark in the university timeline for grades plus, or are these for a different purpose? Does that make sense? Are the requirements mentioned in the February mark in the university timeline grades plus, or are these a different purpose?
So you will only need to do a grades plus if the school has asked you to do that, whether it's a college or a university. So what will happen is they will send you an email that will tell you your next timelines. So if you are applying to a program like Queen's Commerce and you have to do a personal essay, or if you're applying to like drama at Ryerson and you need to book an audition, all that information will come. If you're applying to a college-based program that has like a graphic design component and you have to put together an art portfolio, you should probably be looking at what that is now, what those requirements are, and working on it right now, not leaving it till later. So a big thing like a portfolio or like a dramatic audition or a composition for some of the music programs, probably good to look at what those requirements are at the moment and start working on them now so you're not really stressed closer to when you have to see.
Alquin, I'm sorry if I've mispronounced your name. Ashan has asked, do universities demand the results of AP exams? So do we have an option to show them our marks or not?
I'm going to turn this one over to Ms. Duggan.
Sure, I'll answer this one. You do not have to share your AP marks with universities. You have the choice. So when you write your exams, you fill out a form saying who you would like to share your AP marks with. If you want to share them with no one, that's your choice. You can just write the exam to see how you do. The only university that I'm aware of that makes you share or like makes you take the credit if you share the marks with them is McGill. Most universities will, you can share the mark and then you would have to negotiate with them if you wanted to get credit for it or not. So some students may send their marks to the university and then not even take the credit. They might wait and then decide as they're going through, yeah, I could use a first year chemistry credit. I don't have time to take the chemistry. I want to go right into second year, but you do not have to share them if you don't want to.
So if we've answered your question, just please in the chat bar give us a thumbs up. The next question comes from Cole Kim. And I think this one I can answer if that's okay. I'm registered for an AP Chem, but I have not received anything by email yet. That's a simple answer. Just email Mr. Matone. He's our AP coordinator and he will get you set up for your exam registrations. Okay. The next question comes to us from Angelica. And she asks, can you explain to us what exactly is conditional offers?
Sure.
Will they look at my grade 11 grades?
Sure. So a conditional offer it's a conditional offer. So it is, for most of you, when you get your offer and it's conditional, you will meet the conditions of the offer and the offer will be accepted and you will enter into that program. If you do not meet those requirements, so say you needed an average of 80% and you ended up with an average of 60%, overall, then they could rescind that offer. Did I miss something?
Nope.
Is that okay?
That's good. Okay, our next question comes, our next question comes from Tristan. What about if we don't want to apply to universities straight out of high school? Does that change anything?
Oh, hey, that's an amazing question. I'm really glad that you put that offer on the table. Of course, it's not a bad idea sometimes to take some time to volunteer or work to save money. So you are totally able to take a break, take a gap year, they call it, And we actually have some on our website. We have some under unique opportunities. There is a Gap Association that presents opportunities. If you are looking to just take a little bit of time to figure things out, you can do. When you do apply, you will have to apply through a different portal. So when you are, if you're going to university, specifically, you'll have to, instead of applying as a 101, you apply as a 105. That will make sense when you go on the website. For college, the good news is you can just set up a college account and then begin your program. So you just would log in and create the account just like you would this year, no problem. So yeah, and we're always here to help you. So if you did graduate and you did want to ask your guidance counselor from high school a question after that some time away, you absolutely could reach out to us. We're happy to help you as an alumni.
Next question comes from Francisca, and she asks, this year I have English grade 11 and 12. What should I do if the university or college asks for other 6th grade 12 classes? I only have 5. Who wants to take that?
I'll take that one. So
Francisca, in grade 12, so it doesn't matter the year that you do the university course. So if you did ENG for you in grade 11, and then you did 5 other grade 12 courses in grade 12 plus 1 more, because you would need maybe a course in something else just to have 6, because you need to have 6 as a grade 12 student to be at Sacred Heart. So maybe you have like a gym or something, or maybe a co-op, then your 6 will count. You don't have to do the 6 grade 12 U or M courses in your grade 12 year. You could even do 1 in summer school before grade 12.
Ms. Duggan, could you answer this follow-up question from Elquin? Again, I apologize for the name pronunciation. So you have to decide before the AP exam to share it or not with a specific university?
When you write the AP exams, you direct the college board as to who you want to share your marks with. So if you've applied to McMaster, to Western, to Queen's, and you want them to get your AP scores, then when you sit for your exam, you indicate that you want to, or actually before you sit for your exam, when you're registering for your exams, you indicate who you want to share your results with. And you don't have to share your results with anyone. So you decide who gets copies of your AP exam results.
Okay, thank you for the question and answer. Next question comes from Joy, and Joy asks, if we wanted to apply for university in grade 11, how do we receive a new applicant?
Okay, so the answer to this one is really easy. You cannot apply to university as a grade 11 student. You must wait until you're in grade 12 and you get your PIN in October. So that early admission stuff I brought up previous, you cannot apply to university in grade 11 for Ontario universities. If you are looking outside the province, you have a scholarship or something, that's a different conversation, and you need to talk to your guidance counselor. But current grade 11s, you get to sit tight and wait till grade 12 to apply.
Next question comes to us from Samantha, and she asks, I wanted to apply for the Nursing Collaborative Program in Seneca York University. The admission requirement states OSSD is the only thing needed. Does it matter if I took C courses?
So for college, you can, for college diploma programs, you absolutely can count C-level courses. So I'm just going to ask everybody, if you're asking really specific questions about your own stuff, we are really happy to help you and would like you to book a guidance appointment. And I think with this, I'll turn it over to Mr. Matone for some closing remarks.
Sorry, can I just jump in there, Ms. King?
Ms. Duggan?
Sure, I just wanted to just answer that question about the collaborative program. If you're doing a program that's a diploma and a degree, just so we're clear, you have to fulfill the requirements for a degree. So if you're applying to do collaborative nursing at Seneca College and York University, you have to have grade 12 U English and 5 other U courses. Probably they would have to be grade 12 U Bio, grade 12 U Chem, and a grade 12 U Math. The other way to do it, if you don't have those U courses, is you could do the diploma first, just do the straight practical nursing diploma, and then apply to do a transfer program. But if you're going in right from high school into a collaborative diploma degree program, you have to fulfill the requirements for a degree. And so the information will be listed on OUAC info as well. Sorry, Mr. Machone, over to you.
Thank you, everybody. And so about just less than 60 minutes later, I know some of you in the chat were, you know, a little bit in awe with 67 slides later. So there's a lot of information there. And the first thing I think I'm gonna tell is I'm gonna relate a little bit of my experience to you as a former guidance counselor. How I ended up in this chair as a vice principal wasn't a straight line. And I don't think we have it in our presentation, but there's a popular graphic that we show where it's a kind of a squiggly line and it's backwards, forwards, up and down. And then you end up getting to where you are. And so after university, I went to college and I studied real property administration and I worked in that field. And then I went back and I did my Bachelor of Education. And then I went back and I did my master's. And the differences are real. One's much more theoretical, unless you apply to a real standardized program in university. The merits of college, the college pathway, are very real too. The specific training you get, you can walk into a job and be job ready then as soon as you graduate, or even before you graduate. And now even more, those two worlds are so much more closely aligned, college, university, that you really need to look at the big picture overall. Yes, if you have dreams of becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer, dentist, what have you, you're going to focus on that university pathway. But at the end of the day, you have to pick an industry or a sector where you can see yourself getting up early before you have to be there, getting to work, staying late, being motivated to work in that industry, and you find your way. And being successful doesn't always mean that you get it right on your first chance. Okay, so setbacks and detours and U-turns and all those good things that life presents you could be frustrating and challenging, but it's a journey, and you have to start with a dream, as Ms. King said in the beginning, and then you work there, and then you find out the ways, right? So there's where you want to go, and then there's also how you get there. And the how you get there, as Ms. King said, doesn't always conclude with a straight line or direct path. So keep that in mind. So having said that, I do want to take the time, especially to thank the team for the technical side, because this is our first run. And other than some sound issues at the beginning that we were trying to fix, I really want to commend the team for taking a chance, taking a risk, being vulnerable. Sometimes in our learning or journey will also help us go a long way. So with that, I think I want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone who tuned in today from the cozy confines of their home. And please, if you do have questions, reach out to your guidance counselor, fill out the form to make an appointment. And AP questions, if you haven't been invited to the AP classroom and you didn't get that invite with the class code today, if your class hasn't started by me, contact me directly. Okay, so with that, this brings to a close this evening's festivities, and thank you very much for tuning in, and stay safe.
Thank you, everybody.